Back on February 12th, 2013, Gabe Newell and J.J. Abrams stepped out onto the stage during DICE to be able to announce a few things. Generally, they both just discussed narrative and the different forms that they are experts within. However, at the end of the keynote, it was announced that Valve was interested in working with Bad Robot on Half-Life and Portal movies, and Bad Robot was interested in working with Valve on video games. This made headlines everywhere, as everyone was talking about exactly what they expected, what they wanted, and who they wanted to be in Portal and Half-Life movies, along with exactly what parts of the canon and lore of those two games would actually work within a movie. However, what followed was almost 3 years of no information on exactly what these movies were, or if they were even still in development. With it being Valve, it was very possible that this was just in the pre-production phases and just discussions, and it fell apart. What later happened was in 2015 when Pastime released for Team Fortress 2. This was a combination of football and soccer and Team Fortress 2 all combined into one. This game mode was a partnership between Bad Robot, Escalation Studios, and Valve. Now, for those watching at home, Escalation Studios was later bought out by Bethesda and is now Bethesda Game Studios Dallas, and I have had the opportunity to talk to some of the people that worked on this game mode. Bad Robot had very little to do with the development of Pastime. They just kind of signed their name and put up some money for it. However, it wasn't until March 12th, 2016, where Mod Garrett's Geek Bomb at the Star Trek Into Darkness DVD launch was able to ask J.J. Abrams about the movies, where he said,
"Oh yeah, we're working with Gabe and the people at Valve who are all crazy brilliant on Portal and Half-Life, and we're very excited about what that could be. And despite most, game to movie, we're working very hard to mitigate that."
And once again, on September 28th, 2016, IGN was able to ask him about the movies, where he said,
"We are having some really interesting discussions with writers. I look forward to being able to talk about it and sort of announce who's working. They're very much still in development. We actually have a meeting coming up this week with Valve. We're very active, and I'm hoping that there can be a Portal announcement fairly soon."
So obviously the movies didn't get announced in the coming weeks, and J.J. Abrams didn't completely understand how Valve has worked in the past with release dates. During the Gabe Newell AMA in January of 2017, Gabe was asked about the two J.J. Abrams movies, where he confirms that yes, they are still coming. However, on June 7th, 2018, Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams' production company, announced that they wanted to start making games, and through Tencent, they received the funding to be able to start Bad Robot Games, their own game development division. That seemed to contradict with the fact that J.J. wanted to make games with Valve, as he had, quote, some ideas for games. Seeing as they had to turn to some Chinese funding to be able to get some of these game ideas presumably off ground, means that the relationship with Valve, at least from a game development perspective, wasn't actually working. And to be completely honest, Valve developing a game with a third party almost never happens, especially in modern day. So most, including myself, assumed that the movie production was also on hold, if not shelved indefinitely, due to this split in the game development side. However, as sent to me in an email on January 14th, 2019, yes, Valve is still working with J.J. Abrams on the movies. And this is where we have to talk about a couple things. The fact that Gabe Newell responding to just a general question about a previously announced project with yes, making news, and the view count on this video being as high as it probably will be because of it, speaks incredibly poorly to the marketing, community management, and PR that Valve currently has. There are so many projects that have been leaked, teased, and announced in some regard over the last 10 years that we still have yet to see any production or further development on. Valve needs to be able to communicate more than they currently have. Obviously, the community would love communication from Valve on a general basis. However, it's a vicious cycle. Valve doesn't want to be able to communicate because the community picks apart every single thing they ever do. The community picks apart every single thing because we don't get any communication for long periods of time, so we have to find it ourselves. So exactly what the community is to do to be able to try and coax Valve into talking about stuff, even if that stuff is subject to change, cancellation, shelving, or just confusion and anger, still doesn't mean that the community doesn't want to know what's going on. Yes, Portal and Half-Life movies are still in development as of January 15th, 2019. These movies have been in development since at least 2013. A 6-year development period on two high-profile movies probably mean that some treatments have been done and some discussions have been had. And if J.J. Abrams was comfortable in making an assumption that an announcement was imminent back in September of 2016, it's probably further along than anybody really thinks. It's either Valve's perfectionism, lack of focus or direction, or just general mismanagement that is causing yet another project to just be in development hell. So let's hope that the rumors of a culture shift at Valve to be able to keep development hell from happening is true. And let's hope that the new people coming into the offices are willing to be able to make sacrifices so that the projects and products finish. Otherwise, I'm eventually going to be out of a job. Please, Valve.